Okay guys, so we've got a really cool tutorial for here today, and it's all about the Toraiz SP16 drum machine slash sampler by Pioneer DJ. Now, when I first bought this unit, I basically got this for performing live and, hitting the pads and doing all fancy finger drumming and stuff like that. But what I've actually been using this for is something completely different. And that's all thanks to this Dave Smith instrument filter here. So what I've been doing is I've been using the drive control to add really rich harmonics, like saturation, distortion, slash analog warmth to my audio signals. So today I'm basically going to show you how to do that and talk a little bit about the harmonics it produces. Okay, so first things first. What we have to do on the Toraiz is we have to create a new project. So here we go. Call this YouTube thing, because we're gangster like that and we like to misspell words. So there we go, and we hit the first pad and you'll see this appear. Where it says track type, click on that. You'll get three options: sample, through, and MIDI. We want to use through. And basically everything is now sorted on the Toraiz. So if we look in Ableton now, let's try and send an audio signal through there. And as we can see, the audio is now passing through. Now, to set that up on the Ableton side, what we need to do is we need to look for an external audio effect, and we need to add one of those. That's basically what this is here. That says Toraiz SP16. So you add one of those, set your ins and outs, and you're away. And that's that. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple. So, the harmonics. Let's have a little look at that. So if I open Span, I'm just going to... Oh my... What is that? What is that? Ignore that. Ignore that. We'll Photoshop that out later. That must just be a bit of noise pickup from somewhere, but yeah, just ignore that. A sine wave only has one harmonic. So here we go. I'm going to play that. Single harmonic at 440 Hertz. Just ignore that. So yeah, one harmonic, 440 Hertz. So when I start to apply the filter drive, watch what happens. We get all these lovely harmonics. Now, it's worth noting the Toraiz produces both odd and even harmonics, okay? Now, when I say odd and even harmonics are something that is an even number multiplied by the root. So numbers like 2, 4, 6, and 8, they're even numbers, okay? So they're even multipliers, so they're even harmonics. Odd harmonics are multipliers of 3, 5, and 7, so odd numbers. So the Toraiz produces both. So if we just quickly look at this, this is the fundamental. This is the root note. So this is the first harmonic, which is the octave. So as you can see here, we have A, and then we have another A. So that's an even harmonic, the second one. The third one, this is an odd harmonic because we're multiplying by 3. This is perfect fifth. This one is even. This is another octave, so that's 2 octaves. This is odd. So this is 2 octaves plus a major third. And then we have even. So this is another even one. This is 3 octaves plus a perfect fifth. And then it continues, okay? So it's worth noting what the harmonics are doing, if you're interested. Because things like Ableton Saturator, this only produces odd harmonics. So if you just take a mental note of the Toraiz's harmonics, we just look at those. Now I'm going to play the harmonics that come from Ableton Saturator. As you can see, there's a lot of gaps. That's because Ableton Saturator only produces odd harmonics. Okay, so it's worth knowing which of your plugins produce even harmonics, which ones produce odd harmonics, and which ones do both, like the Toraiz filter here. So if I turn the Toraiz back on now, what you'll see is you'll see all these little gaps start to fill up, and that's the even harmonics coming back into play. So let me just do that for you now. These are the odd ones, and here come the even ones. it would help if I turned it back on. So here are the odd ones, and then I'm going to bring the even ones up. Let's do that again. As you can see here, the even harmonics are coming back in. But it also produces the odd ones as well, so these will grow because it's attenuating them as well, because it's basically doubling the frequency. Yeah, so that's the harmonics. Yeah, so I've been doing loads of experiments with this thing, and I've been getting really good results. I've sent basses through this, synths through this. I've even used this in a master chain, which I'll show you in a moment, and I've been having really great results with it. I've sent everything through it. I've even sent a first-class letter through this bloody thing, and it read better. Honestly, it's just fantastic. This is my new saturation toy. Forget the pads. This is my new saturator. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let me show you an example. So let's just listen to this sub bass here. One moment. It's worth noting you can only use one instance of the effect. So you can only really use it on one channel. If you want to use it on multiple channels, you can't do that. But what you can do is you can basically record your stuff out. You can like set up a resampling track and just kind of, well, I'll come to that in a second. Let me just show you the sub bass thing. So if you're on a thigh phone or a thigh pad, you probably won't be able to hear what's going on right now because we're basically playing a sub bass, okay? But watch what happens when I add a bit of drive. You should start to hear it. We got a nice little farty sub bass there. And if we play with the resonance control, you get some more lovely tones in there. And if it gets a little bit harsh, we can always roll it back with the filter. We can cut some of those harmonics off the top, or we could cut some of the lows off if you wanted to. Yeah, so I've been having loads of fun playing around with that. Just adding harmonics to things. Like I mentioned before, what you can do is, because you can't have multiple instances of this, what you can do, for example, if we just record this in, I've got a nice little drum beat going on here. So I'm just going to record that in, use the saturation, and then play with the filter. So basically what we have now is we have that recorded into Ableton. Let's just have a listen, solo. So that's what I've been using it for. I've been processing stuff through it, playing with the filter, adding harmonics, and recording it back in. Now, another thing I've been doing with it, like I mentioned earlier, I've been using it on a master chain. So let's open that now. This song, by the way, this is not my song. This is a friend of mine's song, Dan Larrson, aka Vuxum, aka Let's Synthesize. And he kindly sent me the samples to this track. This is by no means the official mastered track. This is just a demonstration master chain that I've set up here. So yeah, let's just go through that briefly. Basically, we have an SSL compressor here, which I've got on an external audio track, which I have here next to me. So I'm busting out of Ableton, going through the SSL, coming back into Ableton, then I'm busting out to the Toraiz. So let's just play the track and add a bit of saturation to it, just to glue it together. Now, one thing to note is when you are doing this on a master chain, you need to be very careful because you really need to get your gain staging correct. Because as you're driving this, you're adding a lot of volume and then it saturates. So what you probably have to do is turn all your channels down quite a lot because you'll probably get a good 5 or 6 dB in boost and then it'll saturate. So you really need to pull everything down. So keep that in mind.
This is my sound.
So I know it looks like I've got a lot there, but the signal coming in is pretty hot, so it's just overdriving a little bit there. So yeah, so basically I've been using this on everything and having really good results. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions about this video, just send me a message or type something in the comments underneath. And if you like that song, I'll put the links to that in the description as well. Like I said, that's Dan Larrson, who's made this track that I'm demonstrating here. Yeah, I think that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. And if I don't see you through the week, I will see you through the window. Goodbye.